What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Anything Better podcast with your host, me, Paul Virzi, Bill Burr, and of course, our producer extraordinaire, the Greek freak, the Beverly Hills Kid. He's got so many nicknames, we don't even know what to do with them. Andrew Themlis is over there behind the glass. You guys listening to episode 78, the year I was born, the year of, I don't know, what else?
All right, the top three number 78s of all time. The great Bruce Smith.
Oh.
Remember that guy's guns coming around, clubbing people? Curly Culp from the Houston Oilers, and one of the greatest offensive linemen of all time, Anthony Munoz from the Cincinnati Bengals. Those are three. Is Curly Culp in the Hall of Fame? I'm not sure, but the other two definitely are. Curly Culp was right when I started watching football. He played for Paul. He played for the Houston Oilers. Houston Oilers. Houston Oilers, number one.
Houston Oilers, to this day, still have one of the dopest uniforms. That the blue and the red was incredible. The white and it was so great. I had the Warren Moon football card. It was great. And by the way, guys, I know you write into the show and you tell us at the show, you know, you guys forgot the great 70. We know there's other 78s. It's just we can't be here all day. You know what I mean? Someone's like, how dare you? He was, and it's like, I get that.
No, but you got to love a sports fan like that.
I do.
How dare you forget in 1932?
He signed my son's card. Yeah, he signed my son's card. He was a good man. You don't forget him. Dude,
we're coming up, Paul. We're coming up on wide receivers, and then it's going to be some defensive linemen and Wayne Gretzky, and then I don't know who wears number 100.
No, I think when we get to 100, we got to do like the significance of that number. So we'll find the history of the number. How about that?
Oh,
the history of 100 is probably one of the most, what's the most famous number of all time?
Paulie with little hidden intellect here. I've never seen this part of your brain. Yeah, you actually care about the significance of the number 100?
Yeah, don't let the hat and the chain fool you. I got something under the hood.
Hey, don't let the fact that I always sit in the back of the class make you feel like I don't know nothing.
Hey, I read Snapple facts.
Hey, I can read something and then puke it out to somebody 15 minutes later before it leaves my brain. I can do that.
You remember when you tried to be smart, you would remember the one thing, and then you find those kids that would tell the same story. Do you know Hitler? Oh, no, I'm telling you. They would just keep telling that. You'd be like, yeah, we know.
Well, I've been trying to be smart my whole fucking life. It's not working out. I'm finally giving into it. Just giving into it. Do you know what my favorite thing to say is now? Hey, these problems are a lot bigger than you and I. That's we're not going to come up with a solution. I got to get out of this conversation.
You know what's bad when you go like this to people when you're like, am I smart? I just don't feel. And they go, you're smart in different ways. You're like, all right. The answer is no.
I like all these people too talking about how awful this country is right now and how fucked up it is and all that type of shit. It's just like, okay, all right. I mean, but what are they talking about? They're talking about transgendered people. Like, I love that's what makes people feel like this country's fucked up rather than we have a Ponzi scheme. And once again, this fucking August, if we don't print out another $1 trillion with nothing behind it, we all go under. That's nothing to worry about, Paul.
Right. Yeah.
I got to be upset about what Bud Light puts on the side of a fucking beer can, which, by the way, was that one of the dumbest fucking moves? It's just as far as they're a corporation. They want to make money.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to go Switzerland. You just stay neutral.
Did you see what they did when he wrote the apology, the head of Anheuser-Busch, and then the next commercial, he wrote like a half-ass, like, hey, we don't want anybody to feel like he had to just write something because they lost $5 billion and everybody started getting upset. And then their next commercial, they brought the Clydesdale back. There's a fucking horse in Montana. It was like the next thing after that. They went,
no, they didn't.
Oh, dude, they went old school, dude. Fucking breath coming out of the horse's thing. The fucking Clydesdale with the looked like he had, the pom poms.
That was a worse move. That was the only worse move than doing what they did.
Yeah.
Then you come back and apologize. You try to overcorrect with that.
Yeah, it's a guy shooting guns.
They had some cowboy gay bashing somebody in the background drinking a fucking Bud Light.
There's a guy
with the empty.
There's a guy with a lasso. He fucking hooks a gay kid, just drags him from the back of a horse.
The Clydesdale team like plows through a gay bar. Hey, we're back. Only straight guys that like pussy drink our beer. That's one of those things where you just fucking, it's like, all right, I thought the world was ready for it. I mean, how much do they not know their own audience? I've never seen anybody with even remote intellect or empathy standing there with a Bud Light. They're drinking all those douchey IPAs. Like, what the fuck were you doing?
I was just picturing cowboys on horseback just going through the gay parade shooting people.
Bud Light, we're straight again.
Oh no, but I'll tell you
go
what.
The other way to apologize for all the gay people he just killed.
Dude, I'll tell you
that was like that whole thing is bizarre to me because at the end of the day, Bud Light doesn't give a what did they put? I don't even know what they put. I didn't even see it. The trans person.
Yeah, but like
can?
They put this trans person, but they became trans like 30 days before. And then they just the woman gave an explanation. She was the head of marketing and she goes, here's why I did it. She goes, and she did a whole video because of backlash. And she goes, we were struggling. That's what she said. She goes, the company was struggling and we needed an idea. So I figured, and it's just this one. I figured and then that's what happened.
There you go. There you go. So once again, that's what I was saying because they don't even give a fuck about trans people. So what I figured I could do,
right,
is I could use the pain of somebody born into the wrong gendered body as the way to help us earn more money selling beer. Well, little did I know. I think what happened was they brought it up, and most people in the meeting were going like, "Are you out of your fucking mind? This is Bud Light. We have mouth-breathing morons at tailgates drinking this shit. Why would you? This is some progressive shit. We're going to lose a ton of fucking money. But you can't say that in that corporate environment because then you'd seem transphobic. So they all had to sit there and be like, that sounds like, dude, I ain't putting my name on that. That was one of the, that's right. That was right up there with watching Coca-Cola change their formula in the 80s.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Dude, they changed the formula because they got all freaked out by Pepsi.
What do you mean? They made the taste different? They made
yes.
Oh,
it was called New Coke.
Oh,
New Coke, dude. That was a bigger scandal than Iran Contra. The Ollie North. There was more attention on that.
Oh, so Pepsi scared Coke then.
Pepsi scared Coke, and then what they had to do was scamper. That's why they have Coca-Cola Classic. So then they couldn't admit that New Coke was a bomb. So they kept New Coke out there. And dude, they were doing shows like news reports. And they were showing like in the grocery stores, like fully stocked shelves of New Coke, and nobody had them. And then like the Pepsi was being bought. Because at that point, it's like, well, if you're just going to be a poor excuse for Pepsi, I'm going to drink Pepsi. Even then, I can never drink Pepsi. Not this the number one fucking thing that can just for half a second ruin my concert or fucking sports experience is when I go into an arena and I find that Pepsi has the contract.
What is that? Why are you guys like that? Pepsi's fine. I like Coke better, but Pepsi's fun. Bartnick is like, you fucking piece of this shit with Pepsi. Why? I never understood the hate for Pepsi like that. Dude,
it's not the hate, Paul. It's that's like, Paul, why not the hate? You know, they're both basketball teams. They're both colas, Paul. You know what, Paul? It's like, it's like watching somebody fucking fuck up a steak. It's still a steak, so it can only taste so bad, but it could have been unbelievable. It could have been, Paul, it could have been unbelievable. But instead, we got Pepsi.
I used to growing up, I liked Pepsi, so it doesn't when the waiter goes, "Is Pepsi okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." You got these people going.
Paul, there's a reason why they say that. Is Pepsi? They're the Brooklyn Nets, Paul. Coke is the Knicks.
Okay, all right.
I got you on that one.
Right, listen, if any analogy is going to get me, it's that one.
We got to be careful here. We're kind of doing taste buds right now.
No, but dude, did you see what China? I was on Christina P. By the way, dude, shout out to Christina P. She's so funny. She's so great. But we were on her podcast and we're talking about, dude, there was what China is doing with those kids, those 10-year-old kids. They're all in the classroom. And we showed the video, dude. Andrew, pull this up. There's a
man, I don't want to watch somebody hurting kids.
No. Nobody's hurting kids. It's what the kids are doing in the classroom. There's the whole classroom is 10, 11-year-olds, and they're all just sitting there and they all have a handgun and they're just going, taking it apart, taking the spring out, cleaning it, doing it, put it there, and then they showed American kids just like looking at their phones. Like, dude, looking at their phones.
I know. You know what that is, Paul? You watched a piece of propaganda.
Yeah, I know. But it's weird that they would do the guns.
Well, what are they going to do to us? We have nuclear weapons. We can literally have a nerd push a button and obliterate all of those kids doing. They got a fucking handgun. What are they going to do next, Paul? Take out a bow and arrow?
Slingshot.
Yeah. That's like all of these fucking idiots out here that have gun collections, which I don't have a problem with. But if you have a gun collection because you're going to protect yourself against a tyrannical government, it ain't happening, dude. That ship sailed in the 1940s. Am I still there?
Yeah, somebody was trying to call. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, that ship's your ability to fight back against the government as a citizens with weaponry. That probably ended in the 1800s.
Yeah.
The level of weaponry that the government has and how organized in the training. I mean, the best you can be now is a pain in the ass. It does start with P like Patriot, but that's the best you're going to do. Unless you're those Blackwater guys.
I got a question for you.
Those guys got fucking tanks.
Yeah. I got a question for you, though. And this may sound stupid, so I don't know the answer to this, but if a country was sending a nuclear missile over, are there defenses that can just intercept it and knock it out of the sky? Like, when people go, oh, they're going to hit the red button and everybody's dead. Isn't there something to like do to like kind of disrupt that? Or is it like if it's on its way?
You know what you do, Paul? You lay down on your fucking L-shaped couch and you go, I had a good one. And then you just hope that thing lands right on your fucking house because you don't want to survive that shit and be part of the rebuild. You think people are animals now, Paul? Oof. You take away their flat screen TVs. I mean, I never liked that whole fucking nuclear holocaust shit. Nuclear, however the fuck you say it. I never sweat that shit. I just think it's like, yeah, I'm not going to survive that.
I saw how ugly people could be during that time in New York where there was no gas and the lines for gasoline. It's when like Lucas was a baby and nobody had, so everybody was like filling up gas. Dude, people like it started to become, people started shooting each other and fighting. The lines of gasoline were down. And then when they ran out, people were robbing people. Dude, it was fucked up, man. Fucked up.
Or you could just get on a bicycle.
You could just
take public transportation. Everyone could stay calm and work together. That's the worst thing about being in the herd, Paul. Is the herd mentality. And it's just like panic, fear, and ignorance just bubble up to the top. You know, and it just, if everyone could just be like.
It's fear is the big one of those three.
Yeah, in those times, if we could all just fucking help each other. Like, look at that whole pandemic we just went through. Like, how did we do, Paul?
What's
all yelling at each other. I was yelling at people, fucking ignoring doctors and shit. It was the whole thing was funny thing is the whole thing's a failure, and you have people actually claiming victory. Like people like wanted to be right.
Yeah.
Rather than just listen or work together or whatever. There was like fucking everybody. I gotta tell you something about the left, dude. The left with their fucking they got a name for everything. For as much as they don't like naming shit, you know, as far as what do you call it? The fucking you know, racial slurs and don't say this word, don't say that word. They were a fucking second. You fucking like my big thing now is I've gone from being I'm now called a centrist. Because I was talking about guns, and I said, all right, so all you guys out there, you get your semi-automatic weapons and shit like that. What is your solution? Like, how do you think? I want to hear from someone who owns a gun. I don't own a gun, so I'm not going to fucking weigh in on this. I want to hear what your solution is. And then all these people who just hate guns and have that dumb mindset of like, they should just get rid of all the guns. Like, oh, like, how do you do that?
Yeah, it's the same mindset of no police. No police, just to and it was like, but all right, like that's
no one's ever said no police.
Well, defund the police, that shit.
That's not what it meant, though. That was the worst name thing. Defund the police meant they shouldn't have to take on the ills of all society.
Right, and it made
too much pressure on them. And then they deliberately named it that name to get attention. It's stupid. It was fucking stupid. Terrible name.
Get better
First time I heard it, I'm like, defund. So you want cops to work for free? That's what I said. I was like, that's the dumbest shit ever.
Yeah, people had different meanings. They were like, no, don't give them the resources. Don't do that. And I'm going like, I don't know what it means.
I want to know who came up with no bail.
Oh, no. The fucking, yeah. Dude.
Dude, when that's a truly dangerous suspect, a cop is risking his life to apprehend him. He brings him in, and then you immediately let go, and then you go get him again. At what point does he just say, fuck you, I'm going to go to a coffee shop?
Yeah, one third really in New York. One third of everybody that was arrested in New York City for robbery, theft, whatever, that type of crime, 1/3 was a repeat offender.
Yeah, and also there's bail reform for if you see a guy's laptop with like child pornography, they can get out. If you assault somebody, kidnapping, you could get out that day. It's fucking wild.
Just out of curiosity, who created that legislation? Hey guys, you know what I want to work on? I think we're going too hard on pedophiles.
I have a friend who's a cop in New York City, and he's like, dude, guys are just retiring. He's like, guys are just throwing their hands up going, I just want to make a living for my family. He's like, if like you can get, they can get like, what's it called? They can get complaints written about them if they arrest wrong or too harsh. They got to worry about like putting the guy's cuffs on because then people will take a picture going, why are you doing it so hard? And it's like, I don't know.
Right, well, Paul, it's also, let's not act like this is where this all started. You know what I mean? Because people like to act like when something new happens like this and history begins right now. There's a whole bunch of shit, Paul. There's a whole bunch of shit. And all of that stuff and all that brutality and all of that goes all the way back to the beginning of this country and how this country was taken. And people don't want to fucking hear that. Oh, it's a long fucking time ago. It's like, I'm telling you, dude. Like all of this shit, it's not this shit isn't random. It's a thing. But the thing that keeps me sane in all of this is I blame God for all of this. Because he creates human beings and he makes them flawed. And he gives us all of this jealousy, envy, lust, all of this fucking horrible shit. He makes morons, Paul. More times than not. More times than not, he makes fucking morons that can be led, can be filled with moron ideology. He makes sociopaths, makes all those fucking people. Makes all of those fucking people. So I just look at it like this is supposed to happen. Like we're not supposed to ride off into the sunset and have a utopia. Like, just even watching that sports shit where you have a guy that didn't play fucking professional sports, listening to a guy that played professional sports saying you got this wrong. And he's just sitting there still arguing his point.
Yeah.
because it's more important to win than to actually be right and find out the proper information. And that is how we are wired. And if you believe in a higher power, he's fucking cranking them out, Paul. Cranking them out every second.
Yeah.
And like the amount of time I just said that, how many more mouth-breathing morons?
Yeah, I mean, you know me. You know I believe in a higher power.
Did I just say I didn't? I was just criticizing him.
No, you're saying that helps you get through knowing that that's what it is. I get that. But yeah, it's I don't know, man. I feel like I'm becoming my parents when I would play Nintendo and be little, and I would hear my parents go, or you would hear a relative go, things are crazy. The country's crazy. We're losing this. And you'd be like, that's some old people shit. And you're just playing Mario Brothers. And now, like, I find myself seeing things and I'm going like, things are crazy. We're losing the country. You know, not losing the country.
I think that happens when you have kids. Because I think like it's really hard as an individual to process something bad happening to you. You know, even like in your dreams, you don't die and shit. You know what I mean? It's part of like your own survival. And as much as shit's fucked up, you know, you're in this denial of like bad shit can't happen to me. But when you have kids, you know that something, it's different. So then I think you start, you know, like watching the news and you start connecting dots and stuff. Like there's definitely a lot of fucked up shit up, but there's a lot of great stuff. You texted me the other day when you were like freaking out about something that you saw in the news. And I was like, Paul, a whole bunch of great shit happened today and they're never going to tell you about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what keeps you sane. You're right. That's what I think you're right, though. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like when you have children and you find out what they can be exposed to and you see the horrible shit going on, automatically your brain. I never forget one time Chris Rock did a thing where he went to the Superdome where the Saints played after Katrina. And he was handing out food. Dude, it was like one of the most vulnerable moments. And that's what made me realize kind of what that dude really is inside. Like he was handing out packets of food to all these people. And these little girls came up to him and he was like giving the packets out. He's helping people find a place to sleep and all that. And then he was interviewed and he just goes, it made me think of my daughter. And he just started fucking crying. And he was, and when he was crying, he was wiping it. And I was just like, fuck, man. Because all your mind goes to is when you see that horrible shit, the love in your heart for your little boy or your little girl, whatever, is like, that can't happen to them. And I need to do everything I can as a parent to make sure that shit doesn't happen. And then you get mad. Then anger goes in. Fuck this city. Fuck New York. I'm staying. It's all fear because you don't want anything to happen to your loved ones. That's what I think.
That's why I don't understand these guys that can just fucking go to war, like declare war. And then you're not going to go fight. You know what the fuck's going to happen. Not everything is gonna you know hit the guy you're trying to get. It's fucking whatever. It was getting too deep, Paul. This is way too deep for us. What are we doing here?
No, you know what it is too. I think like life.
I'll tell you what it is, Paul. The Red Sox are number 3 in the league.
No, I think that a lifelong politician, if you're choosing to do that for life. A lifelong politician is the same thing as a comedian that will steal and cut corners and do whatever to get to the top. There's a narcissism there where they're not even thinking they're thinking of their shit. That's what I think.
I would argue this, Paul. I would say like comedians, politicians, you have the Dave Attell's, the comedians, and then you have joke thieves and you have hacks. You know, and you have people that are just getting into politics so they can become a fucking multi-millionaire. Which, dude, the level that they don't investigate that.
Oh,
I saw some crazy stat on the amount of money that Joe Biden's made, but like it's just something I saw on the internet. So I don't know if that's some, you know, let's go Brandon guy or if it's like real, but I guarantee you, Paul, that guy's going to be a multi-millionaire. He'll buy a fucking big house right next to Obama's.
Oh, yeah.
Right next to George W.'s, next to Bill Clinton's.
But let's be honest. He may be a millionaire, but he's not going to know what he's got in the bank.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Dude, listen, not getting political.
At what point are they going to have to, like, remove that guy?
Dude, when he was sitting down with that leader and the leader was talking and he just closed his eyes and didn't open them, and the leader was kind of like, they were like, like it almost looked. They tried to make like he was resting his eyes, dude. It was like, dude, it's a fucking.
I don't give a fuck if he was. You don't do that, Ben. I wouldn't do that on this podcast.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? But
how about when they asked about him around, like if people talking about how he was being slow in the press secretary, she's like, listen, she goes, he is so quick. I have trouble keeping up with him. And everyone's like, come on, we know you're doing your job, but take it easy here.
Hey, you're doing her job well. I like when he goes, and the true thing, this is my favorite one. He goes, and the true thing is that Temperature devastated. Everybody's he just, and then they had the words, it was just letters. He goes like, the Temperature deficit. Oh God, dude. But anyway,
God help us, Paul. Next election, I just want sanity. I want somebody sane. I don't want somebody. Paul, did you ever look at those people on January 6th? I mean, that was one of the saddest collections of human beings I've ever seen in my fucking life. We had a reality show TV star send some of the dumbest people in our country to the wrong building. At least he could have sent them to the Federal Reserve.
Dude. All I know is
that guy choosing to climb up the wall when there was clearly stairs right there. Like, what in the fuck? And he had on that army helmet that he got from like the fucking
surplus
store.
I said on stage the other night, I go, can we just get like a 35, 36-year-old dude who just fucking looks like fucking James Bond? Just for one time, dude. One time, the motherfucker. Like the motherfucker. One time, like 36. Just like everybody agrees with. Oh, it'd be amazing, man. Just once in my lifetime, I want to see that.
No one's going to ever agree. The second they put that fucking tie on.
No, I mean like
red or blue.
No, I mean like if we could get like a 60-40, even like a 60-40 young guy, the youngest in my lifetime was probably Obama, and he looked like shit when he got out of there. Your lifetime,
Clinton, maybe Clinton.
Kennedy when Kennedy and his
Well,
brother
he got whacked fucking 3 years in, dude.
But I know, but he looked good. Well, he looked good.
Yeah, well, if he did a full 8 years, he wouldn't have.
Was he?
None of them do.
How old was Kennedy when he got elected? 42?
When he got shot?
No,
when he got elected? He was born in either 1916 or 1918. So he was either 40. Yeah, he was I think he was 42 or something like that. 43. And he was 46 when he got killed.
Dude, there was a picture of him and his brother at the White House hanging out, walking outside, dude. And it looked like fucking, dude, it looked like the Rat Pack. It was the shit, dude. They just looked young and ready, and they looked fucking, it looked great, man. It's I don't know. They need to cut the age.
I didn't get those vibes when it was Bill Clinton and Al Gore, because they were both young too, but they just looked like two doughboys. They didn't look cool. A couple of fatties, big blue suits.
Yeah, Clinton looked puffy always. Clinton looked puffy, and their voices fucked it up.
Clinton looked like that guy that's he playing pickup hockey. All right, he's in net.
But I got to give Bill Clinton credit for one thing. He always looked.
He got a ton of pussy.
He always looked fun. He always was smiling. He was always shaking hands. The thing about Clinton, it never was a problem. Even now, when he comes out and talks and he smiles, you're like, yeah, man, there's just never a problem. It's just always.
Well, when you don't give a fuck about anybody but yourself, I think he can do that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of that guy.
He's easy. No, I know what you mean, though. Dude, how about that video I sent you?
Dude, meanwhile, his wife is aging like a fucking witch.
Oh, my God.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to fuck. I'm not getting involved in any of that shit. I don't give a shit about it. Whatever.
Yeah, that's why. You know why she aged like that? Because you can't hide evil. I'm kidding. No, dude. How about that video of Lucas? I sent Bill, I'll let the listeners know. I sent Bill, because my son plays travel basketball, AAU, when he's not playing for school. And I sent Bill a video of Lucas. I'm watching Lucas's travel game list. He's actually he's playing tomorrow. Today in Jersey. And right now, I think. And he's in the corner. And you hear me in the video go, I called it. I go, dude, that's his shot. He's open in the corner. That's his shot. And then simultaneously, I sent it to you. He gets the ball and he pops it. It went in. And I was like, I know that's his shot, dude. It was so fucking cool, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, to watch.
Yeah, a buddy of mine just sent me a video of his daughter hitting a home run.
Oh,
she
over the
left field. No, it was softball, but she crushed it. So this woman's playing about midfield, left field, and this thing was like 30 feet over. And the whole audio is him. He goes, "Oh, that's a shot. That is a shot. Go for three. Go for three." And then she's going home. She's going home, staring it up.
Oh, that's great.
And then you just hear him. He just goes. Like that proud dad yell. It was fucking awesome. Hey, by the way, why do you Knicks fans hate Trae Young? I fucking love that guy, man. That guy's a beast.
No, I don't hate him like that, dude. But there is a visceral. I think he said something. I don't know, but dude, one of the funniest things ever. Lucas lost it. We're at the playoff game 2 years ago. This is the last time they're in the playoffs. Was 2 years ago. We were at game 2. The only one we beat Atlanta because they beat us in 5. And they're going and during the national anthem, and Madison Square Garden is dead quiet, And there's always those loud assholes during the national anthem. And he goes, "Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave?" And then he just hear one guy go, "Trae Young's a bitch." And dude, it echoed through the garden. And I never heard of it laughed. Dude, 18,000 people kind of just started laughing. And Lucas was blushing and laughing. And they went right back to the song. "Oh, the land." Dude, it was fucking great. I think I don't know. I think he said something about New York. And then it's one of those things that just goes.
Oh, I love him even more. I love anybody pissing off New Yorkers is a friend of mine.
And then some fucking asshole spit on him, or some fucking drunk asshole spit got on him, and then it looked like, and then that's when New Yorkers turned on them. That's when New Yorkers are like, "What do you don't spit on a fucking player." It's always that fuck.
You don't spit on anybody.
No, you don't spit on anybody. You don't do that. It's like it took it to a level of just that dumb mob shit. So yeah, but it was funny when he screamed it during the national anthem. But dude, Knicks, people say things like, one guy was on the radio going, "New York is a baseball town." It's not. It's not. New York is a basketball town, but we've been deprived of having a winner since.
Yeah, but you had the 3 fucking teams back in the day, Willie, Mickey, and the Duke. You guys were baseball. The Yankees?
No, I'm telling you though, dude, when the Knicks are good. When the Knicks are good, dude, I remember in '99 when we went to the finals as the 8th seed against the fucking Spurs. Dude, the streets are it's not like that when the Yankees. I think it's because we're so want it so bad, but New York is basketball, man.
That's what I would argue. I mean, I think of the Yankees, you're expected. And I think when the Jets and Mets do well, that's like Queens and New Jersey. So you don't see it in Manhattan. But but I feel like Giants and Yankee fans, there's a certain level of money. It's like, what's his face? Well, Mike and the Mad Dog show. You could see Mike was a fucking Giants, Jets. He's that fucking sweater vest guy. That's those are the guys, the Steak and Chop House, Wall Street. To me, that's a Jets and that's a Giants and fucking Yankees. They got money.
Yeah,
they know what it feels like to win.
Yes, it's history. It's the same thing with you guys with the Patriots. A Patriot fan now has a certain thing. You just do.
We're still animals, Paul. We're still animals.
But you're the Patriots. You got
Don't get it twisted.
What you guys have done on record You guys go into a building, you're the Patriots, dude.
All right. Well, don't let the lighthouse fool you. We're still animals. We're animals. Anytime, that's one of my, and I say that in an endearing way. Anytime they cut to the crowd, when I'm out here, living out here, I got all 4 sports packages. When I got time with the kids watching Gecko's Garage all the goddamn time, when I can actually watch a period or 2 of a Bruins game, whenever they cut to the crowd in a home game, I just laugh. I'll go, Nia, look at animals. We're animals. They cut to the crowd during Celtics games. Animals.
Now, are you getting your kids? Are your children going to be your fans of you? Because that's the big joke I got now. Where if your kids don't love the same sports teams, you're fucking up, dude.
I believe that if you live in the state, it's no. I'm doing a very, very I just watch the teams that I like, and then I just say who I'm rooting for. I don't say you have to root for these teams, and I just never watch the LA teams or anything else. But everybody I know out here, dude, I got a buddy of mine. He took his kid to a Giants game. They live in LA. He's a Giants fan. Took him to a Giants game, San Francisco Giants game up in San Francisco. They went there, and they were playing the Pirates, and the Pirates' best player came over and was signing stuff for kids and signed something for his kid. And then he became the biggest Pirates fan ever. He said it faded away, and then he became a Giants fan. But it's difficult to do on the road, I would think. I would think eventually, the kids she goes to school with are going to be Laker fans. And so I might have a little problem there.
Well, you know what, though? Living in an area is hard to tell a kid when all of a sudden they go to a birthday party and they're like, oh, we're going to a skybox at the game Lakers. And all of a sudden they hand your daughter or son.
I'll tell you right now, she's not going. She is not going.
Oh, dude, what would you do if your kids just came home decked head to toe, Kobe, Shaq jerseys, purple and gold, dude? You'd be... Dude,
you'd go for a walk, and I would have to think how I was going to undo that, or if in undoing it, would I drive them further into it? I would say, you know what? I'm glad you guys had a good time, but those jerseys make Daddy really sad. I would just guilt him.
But no, those are Daddy's rival. You don't want to hurt Daddy.
You know what the thing is, Paul? Out of all the fucking teams they could because I just feel like, I just have no respect for those championships. Their last 6 or 7, it's just a collection of everybody else's good players.
So you would rather your kids be a Yankee fan than a Lakers fan?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
100%.
I think 100%. Mine.
I mean, that would suck too. But I just don't. Look, I'm not saying that. I mean, look, the Yankees have had pile-on teams. Celtics have had pile-on teams. Red Sox have had pile-on teams. But I feel like the Lakers, that's literally their business model. Every year, a truck backs up and 5 new high-profile free agents. They're 2 top guys. It's just always not their guys. Kobe, Shaq, and now they got LeBron and that other fucking guy from New Orleans or whatever the fuck he came from. It's just always, it's they got the money and they got the location and they have the pussy to just attract all of these guys out here. And it's you don't even have to be a good fucking organization.
Yeah.
But then again, here's the thing. In defense of the Lakers, then why aren't the Clippers doing that?
Yeah, it doesn't translate to some teams. I'm trying to think of what would hurt me the most with my kids. I thought it would be the Cowboys, but I got to be honest. If my kids came home decked head to toe in nets, it'd be a big problem for me. It'd be a big problem. Dude, the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets have become dude, Cowboys and Nets. Ooh, that's a tough one. Okay. Nah, couldn't have it.
The hardest part would be is if you accepted it and then like it's their birthday and you had to go out and go purchase the jersey for them. At that point, I think I would be like, listen, I'll give you the money for it, but I'm not setting foot in that fucking store, and I'm not putting my hands on that jersey.
Your mother is buying it. I remember. I still think about that time me and you got a thing from Fenway, and they handed us the trophies. And look, and the guy just goes, at least the Yankees weren't in it this year. This was the year that the Yankees weren't. And I'm just holding it with a picture, and I leaned over and I go, dude, you got to delete that. Because it was like the lady was so nice, and they gave us a tour, and she goes, oh, there's 3 trophies and 3 of you. And I'm just like frozen. And I just
I remember that.
And you go, dude, I can't believe you held that. And then the guy goes, don't worry. That's the year the Yankees didn't even make the playoffs. And I just go, Bill, and you said to me, you go, dude, as a friend, I'll delete it. It was like the lady was so sweet. And
I know you were just, that was Beth. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, she's so sweet.
Yeah. No, she's the best. No. I knew you were just being nice. It didn't mean anything. You just
when she goes like this, because she was so happy, and she goes, "Oh, there's 3 of you and 3 trophies. We'll take a picture." And dude, I just went into this. Dude, I was like, "All right." And
I'm surprised you didn't.
And I didn't want to be disrespectful, but no, man. I like. Here's the thing, dude. I like organizations that are rivalries of the Yankees if they're certain organizations. Like they're on a level I respect. I can't believe I'm saying this. You have to respect the Red Sox in a way, because the Red Sox are probably one of the most baseball savvy, best baseball towns in America. And the level that Red Sox fans and Red Sox media give a fuck is something that the Patriots, even though the Patriots are fucking the Patriots, dude. I respect Tom Brady. I respect Bill Belichick. It's the organizations like the Cowboys who call themselves America's team. Oh, I'm going to Texas in a couple of weeks. It's the Cowboys that call themselves America's team. And not some Cowboy fans. Listen, I have friends that loved Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, and all that, grew up in New York, and they had those 3, Michael Irvin, and they're cool. But I've been to Giant Stadium and MetLife Stadium where Cowboy fans would like look up at the screen when they do the history of the Giants and be like, "The fuck out of here. Fuck out. Let's go, boys. Let's go." Like while people are there, and I'm like, I can't do it, dude. I can't. It's the fans, dude. It's the fans. That's what it is. Met fans hate for the Yankees. I want pain.
There you go. Well, I mean, I actually really like the Lakers and the franchise up until like about, the end of Magic and shit like that. But like, you know what it is? It's not even the Lakers' fault. They just represent to me the road that the NBA went down, where they just sold their soul to these fucking free agent super teams. And I don't know. I like the way it used to be. I used to like looking at that kid like Trae Young. Trae Young's not going to stay in Atlanta. Someone's going to pick him up. I don't think what's his face is going to stay down. Zion, if he stays healthy, he's not going to stay in New Orleans. I just feel like you see certain, you looking at him going like, all right, Ja Morant's going to stay in Memphis his whole fucking career. He'll probably end up on the Lakers, and it's just kind of like, I don't know.
All right, guys. Well, that's another episode of the Anything Better podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Check out paulvirzi.com for all my dates. I'm going to Addison. I'm going to Houston. I'm going to Tampa. I'm going to be in Indianapolis. I'm going everywhere. Check me out. Check out Virzi Effect, Bone to Pick, Anything Better. Check out my special. Bill, what do you got coming up, man?
I got Vegas.
You're off, right?
Huh?
You're off.
I got Vegas on the 5th and 6th, unless this is coming out after this. I got, you know what, Paul? I got a run of dates in the end of June. I'm in New Jersey. So I'll be out that way. Club Soda Kenny will all be hanging. And then I wrote a little something that I'm going to shoot, going to direct. I'm not in it, just going to direct it. Have a little fun in May. So,
hey, Bill, maybe we should eat some Italian food when you come out to Jersey. Shout out to Club Soda Kenny, the fucking absolute best, guys. This has been Jesus Christ. This has been the Anything Better podcast. We will see you next week. Take care. From myself, Bill Burr, and the Greek Freak. We're out.